Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. My name is Ratnika and this is Natural Vibrations. This is the Twin Flame reading for the 9th to the 15th of January 2018. I have been away on vacation and I just got back, and I am happy to say that the energies are looking very exciting. Before I jump into it, I must show you what I found. I was in Goa, which is the beach town, and I happened to pick up two very beautiful crystals. Look at that. That is black tourmaline. And this crystal has three crystals fused into each other. And this is natural. Beautiful, right? Well, I just wanted to show you my little crystal collection. All right, I'm just going to jump back in. For anybody who wishes to book a private reading, you can log on to my website, naturalvibrations.com, or you can email me at naturalvibrationsindia@gmail.com. You can also book an EFT online Skype session. EFT helps you clear blockages, helps you deal with issues like depression, addictions, phobias, confidence, basically physical ailments, diseases, etc. It's usually done on Skype, live, and we will set up an appointment depending on which part of the world you're based. You can also book a long distance shamanic healing, which is done when you are sleeping. We will book a time and you will set out the intention, and I will send energy to you while you sleep. All right, let's just jump right in. So we've got the divine masculine on this side and the divine feminine on this side as usual, and then advice for union. A lot of cards fell out for the divine masculine. I used the numerology deck to ask the overall theme for the divine masculine for this coming week, and we've got three cards. First one is change, card number 5. So, all right, let's just go through all of them. Then we've got number 10, karmic completion. And we've got moderation, number 14, which is a 5 again. So what's going on with the divine masculine is there is definitely a karmic completion. So like we had discussed, most of the masculine might have now ended things with a karmic partner, or they might have changed their jobs, or they might have decided to change life paths, whatever the case may be. There's a lot of change happening with the masculine this week, and a lot of it has to do with karmic completion. They're completing their chapters with their karmics. They're ending things with certain relationships, certain jobs, certain cutting ties with people that no longer serve them. It also means cutting ties with ideologies that no longer serves them. And what the universe is also advising at this time is moderation. It's funny, I did my own private reading before this, and my masculine got change, and for union we got moderation. So it's very similar. Moderation basically talks about how there should be a balance in what's going on. So maybe the divine masculine is throwing himself too much into his work and not having enough fun, or they have decided they started drinking too much or eating too much, or they're too busy they're too caught up in their mind, and they're not allowing some time for rest and rejuvenation. So what the universe is advising them is there is a lot of change happening at this moment, and a lot of karmic completion is happening, and the divine masculine really needs to take it easy and find that inner balance, because when they find that inner balance, that's when everything will seem okay and they can sort of recoup from it. So that's the overall theme for the divine masculine. The overall theme for the divine feminine is intuition. So during this time, the divine feminine really needs to rely on her intuition, especially if things haven't been happening in the physical and you're like, I don't know. The last reading I did, we spoke about other people coming into the picture, and I know that is something that happened for me as well. And now is the time for a divine feminine, and of course, once again, divine feminine don't have to be females, it's just the energy. But the divine feminines need to really rely on their intuition to understand what path is right for them at this time. Is it to meet new people, or to be with other people, or is it to wait around for their twin flame, or is it to do a balance of both? Whatever it is, but at the end of the day, they really have to rely on their intuition to choose and decide what is right for them. because everybody's path is different. Regarding the divine masculine spiritual, I got exchanging gifts and wedding. So the divine masculine in his spiritual, I don't know if you can see this card. The sun is setting here, so. All right, the divine masculine in his physical is now, he really wants to have this exchange with the feminine. He's understood that there is a deeper relationship here. With the wedding card, he definitely wants to take things to the next level. He wants to commit to his divine feminine in his spiritual. And he really just wants to sort of just take it to the next level. But at the same time, he understands that there needs to be an exchange. If the divine feminine has always been the one reaching out, the divine masculine have to also now make the effort. And if it's the other way, where the divine masculine has always been the one making the effort, then the divine feminine needs to make the effort. So what the universe is saying is that even though they want this commitment, there needs to be that balance. And it goes back to the moderation card. There needs to be a balance of energies. If the divine masculine are not giving in anything, the divine feminine needs to stop. And that's when the divine masculine needs to balance that energy out. We can't keep giving and not getting anything in return, because then that's an imbalance of energies. So the divine masculine really needs to understand that there needs to be a give and take in this situation. And now is the time for them to hopefully give. The divine feminine have truth be told and past life relationships. So the divine feminine, if you go back to the intuition card, it reflects on this, where the divine feminine really need to understand what is their truth. Okay? Everyone's truth is different. For you, your twin may be the only person and you are okay not being with anybody else. Or for others, they're okay just wanting to be happy at this moment with whoever that comes along. The point is, the divine feminine need to rely on their own truth. And we are no one to judge whose truth is correct and whose truth is false. A lot of divine feminine need to realize that there are two things with this past life card. The firstly, that what is their truth when it comes to the divine masculine? One of the realizations I had the last week has been that there is nobody who can replace my divine masculine. But that doesn't mean I shouldn't do what makes me happy at this moment, even if it makes me happy for a little while. So I'm not saying, go out there and hurt somebody or anything like that, but we have to realize that even though we have this deep connection with our divine masculine, the truth should always be that we need to take care of us. Our own heart space. We've got to open our heart space. Look at that. And let the love flow out. If our own truth is that we want to love people and we want to share the love, then you can't just hold it in forever. I felt like one of the realizations I had was that I've been afraid. I've been saying I'm waiting for my divine masculine, which is the case. However, I've also been afraid of bearing my heart to feel anything. Because at the end, right now we're in a safe space in a way where we know, okay, no one's going to hurt me at this moment. It is what it is. But the minute you start getting involved, you can potentially get hurt. But you can also potentially feel things that you haven't felt in a while. And that is the truth that needs to be revealed. Because this past life relationship which you have with your divine masculine is just one part of it. You may meet people who are also part of your karmic things and that you need to spend some time with to resolve your own issues. Obviously, this applies to some people. For others, it is talking about their divine masculine and still understanding that they have this strong connection with them, and that is the truth of the matter. That nothing will ever change that. That no matter how much they try to distract themselves, the truth and from their deepest heart space is that they have this deep connection with their divine masculine that they cannot break. The divine masculine in his emotional got, you deserve love, and we got 3 cards, here and now, regeneration, but it was reversed, and blessed. So, first off, the divine masculine, obviously, as we discussed, has been going through karmic completion and change. And while that's been happening, he has got the regeneration card, but in reversed. So the divine masculine is going through a lot of changes, and he is afraid. He is trying to resist it. Again, it goes back to what we know already is safe. But when something new happens, it's like exploring uncharted territories, And the divine masculine is afraid. He's trying to resist this change because the change is always painful. And the universe is saying is, the more you resist, the more it persists, as they say. So holding on to not wanting to change is not going to help. They need to let go, and they need to let change happen, because once something dies, because things are changing, karmic completions are happening. I'm assuming karmic partners are leaving the situation, and when all of that is happening, something is dying. But when something dies, if you let it die, only then they come back. Like a new beginning can happen. The here and now card is saying that the divine masculine is so afraid of feeling love that they don't realize how blessed they are. They don't realize that all of this that is happening, this whole journey, this karmic completion, whether it was with people, jobs, whatever it is, they don't realize that all of this is divinely orchestrated. And they are truly blessed because they're going through so much amazing things which will get them what they want. But the divine masculine is so caught up in the past and so worried about the future that they're not thinking about right now and not realizing how blessed they are. They are afraid to reach out because they're afraid of love. They don't feel like they deserve love. I have a feeling there's been an end to a karmic partner, and the divine masculine have become afraid. They've become afraid because they're just like, I don't know if you watch any other twin flame readers. Twin astrology is a good one, who I like to watch as well. She took out a video on the dark night of the soul in a way that the divine masculine are going through, and my readings definitely resonate the same thing. They are afraid. They're going through this, they're going through their fears. Everything happens for a reason, right? So this karmic completion happens so that all of this gets triggered, and that's what's happening. They're getting triggered, and they are so stuck, they're so worried about shit that's happened in the past, and they're so afraid of what the future will hold, that they're forgetting that they actually deserve love and they are truly blessed no matter what. That's why they're going to eventually come to this realization. But right now, they are resisting change. They're resisting it. And while they're resisting it, they're stuck. They're not focused on the now. They're focused so much on the past, about everything that's gone wrong, and so worried about the future. So the divine masculine are definitely going through a lot, and they will eventually come to this realization that they do deserve love, but they're definitely going through a lot. The divine feminine have got fork in the road and heart-to-heart conversations. Now, this would, to me, a fork in the road is making a decision on which way to go. And I feel this could relate back to some divine feminines who have found some karmic situations or soulmate situations or whatever that they've been exploring with. And I feel they're now going to try to make a choice. Which way do they want to go? Do they want to commit truly to their divine masculine, or do they just want to see where this other situation goes? I feel all divine feminine, however, do need to have a heart-to-heart conversation, and this could be with other people, or this could actually they want to have a heart-to-heart conversation with their divine masculine. They really need to, and they also need to have a heart-to-heart conversation with themselves, I feel. For those of you that don't have anybody else in the picture, I feel that this relates to just figuring out how committed you are to your divine masculine. I feel like some people might be giving up, but there's a difference between detachment and giving up. And the divine feminine are now trying to make a choice. Am I going to continue on this path? Or am I going to be like, screw this, I'm going to do my own thing? Either which way, whatever the right thing is, that is your own truth. Remember that. But you might need to have a heart-to-heart conversation with yourself. What is it that you truly want? Is it just wanting to be with your divine masculine? Or is it that you just truly want to be happy? You got to do what works for you. Remember that. That's the most important thing. Nothing else matters. Your own happiness at this very moment, as long as you're not hurting anybody else, that is what matters. So you need to have, the divine feminine need to have a heart-to-heart conversation with themselves to understand which way they want to go. Where do they want to focus their energies on? Is it to just wait around hoping your divine masculine will reach out? Or just sort of being like, you know what? My truth right now is that I'm going to trust my intuition and go with the flow, or I'm going to trust my intuition and wait for my divine masculine and not do anything else. It could be whatever works for you, but you do need to have a heart-to-heart conversation with yourself, I feel. When it comes to the divine masculine in the physical, we've got Treasure Island and Attraction. You attract romantic love by enjoying this moment fully. So as we discussed, the divine masculine are going through something, major changes. And the universe is saying is that in the physical, they really need to just sort of feel the love, which they are not feeling at all times because they're going through so much change and they're so afraid. They need to enjoy. So if they've broken up with the karmic, they need to enjoy single life and to feel the love for themselves, If they've changed a job, then they need to sort of explore what makes them happy in which field and try to pursue that hobby or whatever. Because they will soon start realizing that divine feminine is like a treasure. This relationship, this connection they have with the divine feminine is absolutely beautiful and is like a treasure. And once they realize that, they just need to feel that they deserve it too. And that they need to fully be present in that moment. And that's where they're going to eventually get to. I feel like because there's so much change happening, this balance needs to be restored. And they need to sort of stop being afraid. But the minute they stop being stuck in the past and worried about the future and realizing, they're going to realize in the physical that the divine feminine is a treasure. This relationship is so magical. They're going to come back. They've gone through this change and they're going to come to this realization that the divine feminine, the connection they had with them was absolutely beautiful. And they're going to really want to enjoy, they're going to feel that attraction for the divine feminine again in the physical. They're going to, there'll be nobody else, there's nobody else stopping that. So it's not like they're going to feel guilty about thinking about the divine feminine because they have a partner or whatever, because the change is happening. And they're going to feel that attraction for the divine feminine again, which is great. The divine feminine in a physical has got soulmate and imagine. So the divine feminine are just in their physical space, are just imagining their life. And it's funny, I got the imagine card so many times. I feel like because it's the start of the year and we've got 2 full moons and everything, the universe is reminding us that I think we got a new moon coming up as well. And that's like a new moon. That we need to just imagine our perfect life. And that's what a lot of divine feminines are doing. Imagine your perfect life, and it doesn't have to be just with your twin flame. I'm not saying don't imagine it with them, but how about you imagine a life with your perfect partner and don't give him or her a face. Imagine waking up in the morning and sharing a cup of coffee with them, or going on vacations, or doing whatever it is that you love, but not giving them a face. Give it that detachment, because I have noticed, especially when I try to manifest things, when I am so focused on one thing, it doesn't happen. But the minute you kind of take your focus away from it and concentrate on something else, that's when it happens. So I feel the divine feminine are going to be imagining a happy life, a life with their perfect partner. And my advice would be, try not to be so focused on who that person will be. I'm not saying it's not going to be a divine masculine. Of course it could be. But don't be so focused on it. Just be focused on that feeling of love you feel with them, the feeling of happiness. And just imagine, just go crazy, visualize, think about the perfect thing. I feel like, so I can relate to this because what's happened for me is that a part of me sort of become so afraid to visualize stuff with my divine masculine because it hasn't happened, that I just stopped doing it. But when I visualize things for other things, it happens so quickly. So I feel like the divine feminine are sort of going back to that feeling of, I will get what I want. And it could, it could be with the divine masculine, but imagine everything. Just union is not the only thing. Having that perfect life, having perfect children, or the kind of children you want, or the kind of job you want, and living the life you want. Those are the things you should imagine as well. Because you already know what deep connection you have for your twin. But now's the time to imagine that into creation, because you always co-create stuff. I hope I'm being clear. I feel like, I don't know. Maybe I'm not being very clear. I feel like I feel like I'm picking up two sets of divine feminine. Like I feel the divine masculine is clear, which is why I keep flip-flopping, because I feel like the cards, I'm tapping into like two sets of divine feminine. And that's why I give you two explanations to the cards. So I hope, whichever one resonates with you, take that. If it doesn't resonate with you, that's not for you. All right. Regarding union, we've got creativity. The overall energy, can you see that? Can you see that? Yeah, the overall energy for union is creativity. Creativity is telling us that both for divine masculine and the divine feminine, to get out of our headspace so much, to stop being so logical, to stop being so like by the book, and to explore things, to be more open to exploring different things, for imagining, and for also to explore our own creativity. Goes back to the imagine card as well. Explore and imagine what it is that you want in life, as well as, if you are a creative person, definitely do some creative activity, whether singing, music, dancing, painting, whatever it is. Now is the time to be creative, because you don't need to be stuck in your head so much. You don't need to keep thinking logically about everything. Sometimes you just gotta let go and just go with the flow and do what feels right in the moment. The other card we got for union is make the effort. Great love is worth taking the steps you're guided to take. Now this could be for the divine masculine. They do want the love at this wedding and connection with the divine feminine, but they're afraid. So maybe, and the universe is telling them, it's okay. You've got to make the effort. And when it comes to the divine feminine, this right here, the truth, the heart-to-heart conversation with yourself, deciding which road to take, what is the right path. That's you making the effort as well. So, effort doesn't always have to be like, oh, I'm going to decide right away, like how the divine masculine need to reach out or something. Sometimes effort can just be, I'm going to imagine the life I want. I'm not going to be afraid anymore. I'm going to imagine the life I want. I'm not going to run away from it. I'm going to trust my intuition. So that's also part of effort. The other card we got was Sisters of Seasons, Cycles of Growth, Natural Law, and Divine Order. This card has come up so many times in my readings in the past few days. So I'm just going to read this. I don't think it was reversed. Yeah, it was straight. When the Sisters of Season meet you on your path, they remind you that everything has a natural rhythm that obey a higher law. Just as the seasons magically pass, be reminded that nature of birth, growth, harvest, and decay cannot be altered. So if you keep on your path with determination and discernment, allowing for the natural course of events to unfold, success is assured. So first of all, path, we have to just decide which path we want to go on. The divine masculine needs to understand that just because things are changing doesn't mean that's how they're going to remain. There's a cycle. Things change, things die, and then there's a regeneration. But they're afraid of that regeneration, which they shouldn't be. Divine appropriate timing is guiding your desires into perfect manifest form. This is a very good period to start new things as you moved out of winter into the beginning of spring. Well, we're still in winter, but we are, getting there. Continue with patience and be aware of the rhythms of your opportunities. There will be periods when things slow down and begin anew. Move into fruition and then slow down again in a never-ending natural flow. Be mindful of which sister greets you, for she points directly at the next. Every moment counts. So again, this is telling you everything has a season, everything has a divine timing. So just because things haven't happened for you, just because for the divine masculine something has ended, it doesn't mean that they'll never find love again, that they will never find that happiness again. Now is the time for them to go in and realize that things that die will always reemerge. And the divine feminine are being reminded that they must stay on their path, whichever path that's for them, whichever is their truthful path. They must stay on that and trust their intuition and imagine what they want and just know that it'll come to them in divine timing. All right, I hope you resonated with this reading. I would love to hear from you. I will be back after the 15th, and I might do some live readings on my Facebook page. So if you haven't liked my page yet, you can go on to facebook.com Natural Vibrations India, or you can just type Natural Vibrations and you can just see the logo. It'll match the YouTube logo. Do like my page. I might pull like one card free readings for my followers. So definitely go and check that out. All right, take care. Have a good day. Bye.